Well, Craigs, it was perhaps new conditions for some of the boys today, but how do you think they got on?
I thought they were really poor, and it's harsh. I don't like being overly critical of young players because, they're trying to make their way in the game. They're trying to get a pathway where they have to go, but consistency has always been something that's been labelled at young players of how do you find that, where do you get it. I just thought all round today, our final decision making on the ball, our passing at times, we looked a little bit lost, so it's strange because we trained really well on Saturday, we trained really well on Monday, and we worked on some forward stuff, and I was really looking forward to the game to see how they would execute it, but we didn't help ourselves. We got away poor goals. Peter gave a bad first in a way, Barry's been poor at the second one, so that's what we have to live with. It's a learning curve for them, but the reality is, if you to move on and to progress, we have to be better than that. So up until this game, I was really pleased with our season, our consistency, our performance level. Today was a huge bolt out of the blue, which we have to try and recover from.
From your experience as a player, how do you bounce back from that, and how will you pass that on to the boys to help them bounce back from that performance?
Well, we just have to keep working. We have to keep preaching what we have been doing what I have been doing over the past 17, 18 months. That doesn't change over one performance. It's just trying to analyse, maybe speak to them over the next couple of days how they felt, what went through their mind. But there's no excuses. We were up against the Hibs side, who I thought we were more than capable of beating. After watching the first half, I was even more convinced we'd win the second half. So, maybe I have too many high hopes for them. I have huge expectations for some of them. I think they should be pushing closer to the first team. I think some of them have big careers ahead of them. Maybe I get carried away, maybe I get too excited with them, but on today's performance, it just gives you a little stark reality to maybe lay off them a little bit and maybe not encourage them as much, because I'm maybe trying to push them on too much. But I'm slightly at a little bit of a loss to work out how and why it went wrong. I don't know. Maybe when I watch the game back in the DVD, I'll get a proper look. But I just felt all around our decision making on the ball was poor, and it cost us, particularly in the final third.
It was all level at half time, as we know, and it looked like you might have went on. Do you think that perhaps playing indoors, this sort of condition, might have been a factor at all, or is it just purely down to that consistency?
No, I wouldn't have thought so, because Hibs play here, but they don't train here. They have their own training complex, so it's new to them. Listen, it's a wonderful surface to play on. The boys maybe talk about it being a little bit greasy, the ball moving a little bit quicker, but that shouldn't affect you being able to pass the ball 10 yards or being able to cross the ball into the box. So no, there's no excuses. They have to evaluate themselves. It's sometimes what you do away from the park makes you look a little bit fresh. I thought we looked a little bit tired in the second half. As the game wore on, we looked a little bit leggy. We had a decent game at Aberdeen last week. We trained hard with Scotland last week. Boys trained Saturday and Monday, so it's hard to kind of fathom that out. But no, the conditions are no part to play. I just feel we have to be better. We have to be better in possession of the ball. We have to be better defenders. To step up to the next level, we have to be better in all regards.
I'm sure you'll have expressed that disappointment, but what are some of the boys like in defeat? Do they go a wee bit shy? Are they hungry to bounce back? What's their attitude like?
Well, that's the test of character. I said to them, the pathway to being a professional footballer, the pathway of playing in someone's first team, whether it's ours or somewhere else, isn't smooth. There's ups and downs, and there's days, there's testing days, there's character building days. Today was a character building day. We'll see how they respond, see how they train later in the week. So it's as much me looking at them to see what they've got. I don't want them to shrink into their shell and feel sorry for themselves, because I won't be feeling sorry for them. We'll be back in the training pitch on Thursday, Friday, Saturday. We'll be working hard again. We'll just be replicating what we've done previously. If it didn't come off today, then we'll analyse that and work out why it didn't come off. But I think it's a test for some of them. Just the younger ones in particular, because they want to be footballers, and they don't get criticised very much. And I don't mean criticised, but we don't pick holes in their performance very often. But I just think there comes a time when you do have to pick a hole in it, then they have to accept it and get on with it and just make the challenge head on.